All right, just getting everything set up real quick, guys. Kind of ad hoc stream. Nice, what's up, dude? How'd the stream go? Nice. Sorry, I ended up getting busy and I didn't get to catch it all. There we go.
At Fiverr, we offer 3D
go.
rendering services. But you probably already know a guy who knows a guy who has a cousin who has a neighbor who could do it. Well, we also know a guy, Sebastian.
Was good, great talks. Nice. I have a Chrome extension for blocking this. Hold on. Did I not turn it on? Okay, it just happened anyways. All right. Was good, great talks? Good, good. Well, I haven't read these yet. We'll see how this goes. It's been a while. My ESO knowledge is slightly lacking, so we will see. But you said balance adjustments for Necromancer, and you had me at Necromancer, so we will see. We will see. I'll just give it a couple minutes here before we hop in and read these, and then we'll see what they're about. There we go. Let's see. Oh, it did pop up. Okay. So my Twitch notification popped up in Discord, but my YouTube notification did not. No one ESO content could be? It could be. It very well could be. So let's get this out of the way. I have not played ESO in about a year now. That doesn't mean I am anti-ESO or anything. It's just been related to performance and related to the meta. When this new patch dropped, I've actually been interested with all the new scribing stuff, or I don't know what you call it right now. This is how far out of the loop I am. But the new chapter that just dropped, I've been very interested in it because it actually changes the meta. And so I've been interested in that. And Elden Ring came out, so I wanted to beat Elden Ring. And now with the new patch notes, it's like, okay, well, let's see how things have changed and see if it's worth hopping back in ESO. So that's where I'm at. A lot of my friends have come back to playing ESO, and they've been trying to get me to play. And I've told them when I'm done with Elden Ring, I'll come back and I'll see how ESO is going. But every time I hop into a live stream, Blap's either bitching about performance or something. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm hopeful. Nice told me that these patch notes are pretty good. Feels like it's been so much longer. Miss your content. You've always been my favorite ESO content creator. You remind me of a couple friends of mine. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, for me, if the game works, I'll play it. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, so I played last year. I was having fun. I was playing for about 2 weeks. I think I played a handful of times in a 2-week period. And then I just had one of those days where it just wasn't working at all. And I got really frustrated. And I was like, you sucked me in. You got my attention again. And then the game just stopped working. And it was annoying. And so I was just like, I'm going to play stuff that works. But we'll see. Now log in and play. So I logged in yesterday. because somebody jokingly, they trolled me and told me to make them gear, and so then I made them gear. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I haven't touched a controller in a year. When I tell you, like, I almost ran into the ocean. Like, I was trying to go to the crafting station, and like my sensitivity, I forgot how high I had the sensitivity on my controller, and I was just fucking spinning. trying to figure stuff out. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna, I'll get it back. Everything will be fine. You know, it's just muscle memory. Takes a little bit of time, like riding a bike, but it's pretty funny. What's going on, HD? How are you? All right, we are going to read the patch notes. We'll see what is coming out here this fall. Welcome to Elder Scrolls Online version 10.1.0. This update introduces home tours, a new tool to help you find and share housing creations. We've also made some updates to Infinite Archive to add new arenas, verses, and visions, plus added 7 new class sets and some additional curated item sets. You'll also find new collectibles, achievement titles. You guys can read. We don't have to talk about this. So we have our guide, home tours, new homes, new furnishings, Infinite Archive update. So I haven't played Infinite Archive yet. New class item sets. We've added 7 new item sets you can earn from Infinite Archive, each one themed around a different skill line from the 7 ESO classes. These sets come in all weights, light, medium, and heavy. Etheric Lance, Templar. Adric Spear abilities, 129 weapon spell damage, 657 crits chance, 129 weapon spell damage, dealing damage with burning light twice within 30 seconds. Okay, so super easy. Creates a 5-meter area for 5 seconds. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds. Oh my god. Okay, let me reread this. Dealing damage with burning light twice within 30 seconds. Creates a 5-meter area for 5 seconds. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds. Okay, so it's a really easy proc condition. While in the area, dealing damage with an Adric Spear ability launches a spear at your target, dealing magic damage and applying Sundered, and increasing your weapon and spell damage by 300 for 6 seconds. The damage scales off the higher of your weapon or spell damage. Sean, what's going on? And ESO, oh shucks. No, I do not think that, but thank you so much, man. I appreciate the compliment. This is the real video game patch notes. Yeah. Okay, so we'll have to know how much magic damage it does, but applying Sundered and increasing weapon and spell damage by 300, this doesn't look bad to me. I'm way out of the loop with what's really good for Templar right now. I mean, maybe there's some very powerful proc set, but this doesn't look bad on paper. I mean, you get a nice status effect. Depending on how hard the proc damage is, you get a 5-meter circle for 5 out of 6 seconds, and then your 300 weapon and spell damage lasts for 6 seconds. So the only question is you have to do the burning light damage probably within this 5-meter circle. That's what I'm assuming. So you have to deal the burning light damage within this. And then when you get the buff while in this circle, you should be able to move out of it, right? So you should have it for 6 seconds. Ill-fated, what's going on, dude? I'm sorry, Frank. Frank, what's going on? Guys, this is my alter ego and main account, Ill-fated. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be chatting a little bit in Twitch chat and reading at the same time, because that's just what I do. But yeah, this is an interesting set. Hope life's treating me well. It is. Thank you so much. Yeah, things are going good. Just a nice, slow Monday. So we're reading some patch notes for ESO. Hope everything's well for you. All right. Beacon of Oblivion. Sorcerer, Daedric Summoning, Armor, Weapon and Spell Damage, Maximum Health. While you have a pet active, gain 1840 health and 1980 armor. Okay. While you do not have a pet active, increase your damage done to monsters and healing done by 15%. Okay, well this looks like garbage. What is this? What is this? While you do not have a pet active, increase your damage done to monsters and healing done by 15%. I mean, 15% is no joke to monsters, I guess, and in healing done, but geez. Purebrand, Dragonite, offensive penetration, weapon spell damage, weapon spell damage. Your light attacks deal flame damage every 2 seconds over 6 seconds. Okay. Your fully charged heavy attacks consume up to 3 of your damage over time effects to deal flame damage in a 6-meter radius on the target. Okay. Sorry. I haven't read these in a while. I guess I'm rusty reading patch notes. Okay, 2, 3, and 4 piece is great. Light attacks deal flame damage every 6 seconds, over 6 seconds. So this seems kind of nice. So I'm assuming that if you use like dual wield, if you use a 2H, if you use anything else besides a flame staff, it converts to flame damage. I'm assuming that's what this means. So it allows you to, be a flamey boy. Your fully charged heavy attacks consume up to 3 of your damage over time effects to deal flame damage in a 6-meter radius on the target, dealing up to 200% more damage to enemies below 33% health. The damage scales off the high of your weapon or spell damage and is increased by 20% for each damage over time effect on the target, up to 60%. Okay. So, anybody that's read these or tested these, does this mean that 3 of your damage over time effects, it takes all the damage and consumes it? So if you have like 1,000 damage ticking over like a 6-second period, does it pop for 6,000 damage all at the same time? And then it's 3 dots? Is that what this is saying? And then if they're in execute range, it does even more? Like, what's the dichotomy between these two sets? Like 15% more healing done or like awesome DK shit? I mean, that's how I'm reading it. Consume up to 3 of your damage over time effects to deal flame damage in a 6-meter radius on the target. That's so much burst. That's crazy. So you could do a fully charged heavy attack with the dots applied and then leap into them. I mean, to me, this sounds bursty as shit. The damage scales at the high of your weapon or spell damage and is increased by 20% for each damage over time effect on the target, up to 60%. G.I. Joe, what's going on, man? This set sounds crazy to me on paper. I very well could be wrong. I could be misreading this, but this sounds really good. This sounds like it could be pretty good. All right, Nightblade. Let's see what Nightblade gets. Max health, armor, max stamina. Okay, so for me this is fine. When Nightblade doesn't need damage, When you cast a shadow ability, you gain Umbral Riposte for 3 seconds, up to every 6 seconds. Umbral Riposte causes you to dodge the next attack made against you and automatically curses the attacking enemy, applying major vulnerability for 5 seconds, increasing their damage taken by 10%. Wow. So the only question I have about this, the Nightblade set sounds kind of saucy. It does. It does. So nice. I was reading your Discord and people were saying the set's not good. What? They're like, oh yeah, Nightblade here. This set's not very good. Like, what? Dodging your next attack can be really good. Like 1 free dodge every 6 seconds can be very, very good. And then automatically curse it. See, the only question is that 5-second window. So the only concern I would have running this set is the marker. When you get major vulnerability on somebody, is it easy to see? Because a 5-second window, like so when I'm looking at this set, I'm looking at it as potentially as a back bar set, right? You run it on the back bar, you activate your shadow ability. Most of mine are on my back bar. And then when you dodge this attack, you have vulnerability and you can go offensive. But you have to make sure if you're getting attacked by multiple people, is it gonna go to the right person? I guess. So it could be kind of goofy in that regard. Maybe it's better in theory in like a 1v1 situation. Vulnerability is really nice. Pair that with a free roll dodge champ passive well fitted. Make it simple. You press cloak and someone has a dot on you. They have major vulnerability. Exactly. It has a giant pink flame above their head for the debuff. Okay. Okay, so it's easy to see. Yeah, the only question then is like the 5-second window, but like literally this procs off every 3 seconds. Up to once yeah, so for 3 seconds, if you take damage in that window, 5 out of 6 seconds you have major vulnerability. This sounds really good as a backbar damage set for Nightblade. This sounds really strong. I mean, the dodge could be dodging anything, but it could, I mean, it's not saying it's not an ultimate. It can't dodge an ultimate. It is 100% uptime. Oh, does it reset afterthoughts? So for 3 seconds it can last? Up to once every 6 seconds. Okay, so how does it have I'm sorry, how does it have 100% uptime? Because it's up to once every 6 seconds, and then it's major vulnerability for 5 seconds. Regardless, it sounds very strong to me. It sounds very strong to me. In a very large outnumbered fight, like a big outnumbered fight, it might get a little weird. But like 1v2, 1v3, 1v4, I could see it still being pretty good. Should check Discord when I get the chance. Okay. Hidden patch note discovered. Oh boy. Oh, that'd be really funny. Ares Cry, Warden, Animal Companions. Offensive penetration, weapon and spell damage, weapon and spell damage. Dealing damage with a light attack, applies Eagle's Mark. Okay, 1 second. We'll go back to Warden here. We're still talking Nightblade. We're talking about the good class, guys, not the bad class. 3 seconds for the buff for you to apply to someone. Major vulnerability lasts 5 seconds when it applies and goes on a 5-second cooldown when it applies. Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, so I was just reading a funny as all. I'm off to bed. Just want to drop by and say, hey, yeah, thanks, man. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, that sounds very strong. Ever consider playing Black Desert for the PvP? So I do have Black Desert purchased. It's on the back burner for sure. I do want to give it a shot. There's just other games I wanted to play first, but I'm definitely going to. I promised a friend that I would. It's just the friends that I promised that I would play it with, they stopped playing it. So I just have a little bit less incentive to try it. But no, I will try Black Desert. I just don't know when. Yeah, this set sounds really good. This set sounds really strong in a smaller scale situation. Ares Cry, Warden, Animal Companions. Offensive penetration, weapon and spell damage, dealing damage with the light attack, applies Eagle's Mark to your target for 12 seconds. Eagle's Mark causes an eagle to attack your target every 3 seconds after a 3-second delay, dealing physical damage per attack and increasing your damage done with animal companion abilities by 10% against them. Wow. Okay, so when you summon the bird, it's just going to summon more birds. So you could do an entire like bird montage thing with the crows. Well, what's the crow set where you can summon the 3 crows? So you can summon the 3 crows, and you can summon eagles, and then you can throw birds at people. I mean, I'm not saying it's good, guys. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying for the role play aspect of being able to summon a shit ton of birds, that's really funny. This effect can occur every 3 seconds, but cannot be applied to enemies who already have Eagle's Mark. You can have 1 Eagle's Mark active at a time. This sounds so silly. Seems to be the richest MMORPG in terms of PvP in today's time. Yeah. I would agree with you there. I would agree with you. Corpse Burster, Necromancer. All right, guys. Here comes the Necromancer set, right? Okay, so here's what we have so far. Templar, interesting. Sork, this just looks awful. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I mean, unless you want to be like a heal Sork, I guess, but this does not look good to me. Dragonite, this looks strong if it works how I think it does. Ooh, I don't know for sure. Nightblade sounds strong. Warden sounds... It depends on the amount of damage, of course. But this sounds like you could do some silly role-playing stuff. And so Necromancer. 129 weapon and spell damage. Okay. 129 weapon and spell damage. Crit chance. Nice. We don't have crit chance, so this is nice. Consuming a corpse causes the corpse to explode, dealing magic damage to enemies within 5 meters. Increasing by 10% for each Gravelord ability slotted. This effect can occur once every 0.5 seconds and scales off your higher weapon or spell damage. John, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Okay, so how much damage are we doing here? Like, how much damage are we talking? Because it's Necromancer. We need a lot of damage to make up for not having any. Okay, so consuming a corpse causes the corpse can occur once every 0.5 seconds. And okay, so that's the disappointing part. I actually saw this. Somebody mentioned this set, and I didn't see this last part. So the first thing I thought of was the consuming corpses ultimate, where you can have up to 3 on the ground. And so I was like, okay, well, if this does a decent amount of damage, you could use that ultimate and really get some crazy damage in that area. But you can only, it looks like for every corpse consumed, it's only 1 every 0.5 seconds. So it depends on the damage. I'm not going to say it's bad. It looks extremely situational. Probably too situational. Because like they have to be on the corpse that you're consuming. And it's a 5 meter radius too. I'm going to say bad. This could have like a crazy amount of damage and I'll be wrong. But it basically has to have a crazy amount of damage in order to make up for this proc condition. So somebody has to be standing on your corpse within 5 meters, which is a small radius, in order for you to do damage to them. That's disappointing. Spattering Disjunction. Arcanist, Herald of the Tome. Crit chance, weapon and spell damage. Dealing damage with an Arcanist ability applies 2 random status effects to your target. This effect can occur once every 7 seconds. Dealing damage with a Herald of the Time ability reduces the cooldown by 0.5 seconds up to once every... What the fuck, man? Like, how are Necromancer and Sork just gonna get jobbed here? How are Necromancer and Sork gonna get absolutely jobbed, and then you just have debatable sets? Let's put it that way. There's outright no's, there's outright this is OP as shit, this is crazy, and there's debatable, right? 2 random status effects sounds kind of nice. It doesn't sound awful. It doesn't sound like, hey, you have to stand in this little area to do a little bit of magic damage. Okay. Moving on. New collectibles, achievement and titles. Okay. Exploration and itemization, combat and abilities. Greetings, everyone. Update 43 is here, and with it, a slew of changes focused on following up on this year's big feature, scribing. We've gone through much of the feedback that has come in between Update 42's PTS cycle and the feature going live, resulting in some updates to the potency of some scripts in Grimoire combinations, general buffs to numbers, bug fixing, and some functionality changes in rare cases. We've got plenty more outside of scribing, however, with a handful of updates and additions to some class ability functionality, primarily focused on improving Necromancer's access to the major minor system, the highly requested in-combat casting of sacrificial bones, and a few morph buffs to spice up some gameplay potential. We also have some We also have some moderate adjustments to wardens that aim to help differentiate power levels if you're a tank or damage dealer, to reduce some of the power of the class can easily access in PvP. We're also reorganizing some Nightblade abilities to make sure they better align with their source skill line's vision and theme, while ever so slightly improving their PvE damage production and peeling back some of the ease of the defensive power the assassin playstyle has access to. Okie dokie. Outside of that, we have a handful of other adjustments, such as making Vampire's Undeath passive less restrictive, but also less powerful. Oh my god. Oh my god, they did it. How much less powerful, ZeniMax? How much less powerful did you make the Undeath passive? Cleaning up a bunch of item set interactions, better splitting the more functionality of Abyssal Impact, and a hefty amount of bug fixes involving stealth interaction. That about wraps up the main points to expect this update. Thanks for reading, and we hope to see you in Tamriel. Arcanist, Herald of the Tome, Abyssal Impact. Cephaliarch's Flail. This morph no longer gains execute scaling damage. The healing from this morph now only occurs at the ability damage to target to ensure it can only be used aggressively rather than at any time. Tentacular Dread. This morph now increases its damage done by 33% per crux consumed, up from 20%. In this pass, we're trying to better align the power dynamic between these morphs. Very early in development, Flail was actually used predominantly as an execute with much more potent scaling. But over time, during the class's development, we reduced this function when Fate Carver came into being and took the spotlight. Originally, we kept this functionality to pay homage to that, but since both morphs added damage functionalities, it created a situation where one was always going to be better than the other. Rather than trying to have an arms race between the two, we've done more of a hard split, where Flail remains a generic buff morph that allows you to gain additional effects and contextual uses, while Dread more radically shifts how the ability is utilized. In addition to this, the increased drain of crux that Dread asks of you wasn't rewarding as we would have liked, so we're bumping up the reward for using it well. Okay. Sorry, water. Water down the wrong tube. Necromancer added major and minor effects to numerous necromantic abilities to help the class better enfeeble their foes and empower themselves with the taste of death. Okay, go on. The following minions' abilities will now only generate a corpse if their summoner was also in combat, in efforts to reduce the ability to generate ultimate out of combat. Sacrificial Bones and Gravelord Sacrifice, Skeletal Mage in its morphs, Bone Armor in its morphs, Spirit Mender in its morphs. Okay. Seems kind of minor, but okay. There's so many ridiculous ways to generate ultimate in the game. I understand. It's just kind of funny, like, the amount of ways you can generate ultimate in a group-based situation is extremely powerful, and this is one of the lesser forms of it. I'm not saying this shouldn't have been adjusted or anything. It's just hopefully they went after the other ones too, is what I'm trying to say. Gravelord Boneyard. This ability and its morphs now also apply minor vulnerability to the enemies inside the area. The chill of death embraces those in its wake. Unnerving Boneyard. This ability's minor vulnerability and major breach now persist on enemies for 4.1 seconds each tick, rather than only while in the area. Okay. Okay, so it's a little bit better. Sacrificial Bones. This ability and the Gravelord Sacrifice morph no longer require you to be in combat in order to cast them. Interesting. Fix an issue where the damage increase from this ability and its morphs did not properly update many ability tooltips. Okay. Shocking Siphon. This ability and its morphs now also grant you Major Prophecy and Savagery for 20 seconds after casting. Such lack of respect for the dead spurs the spreading of more of it. Okay. I like this addition. This addition is quite a nice bonus. Detonating Siphon. Fix an issue where the damage from the explosion of this morph could not be blocked. Skeletal Mage. This ability and its morphs now grant you Major Brutality and Sorcery for their active duration. Such audacious manipulation of death fuels your desire for more of it. Oh my goodness, we have major brutality and sorcery attached to a skill. And it's a damage dealing skill. Not a lot of damage, but it's now a damage dealing skill that also gives you brutality and sorcery. Okay. This is a nice buff. This is a nice little addition, because the Necromancer was really lacking in the buff department for skills and abilities, and you were kind of shoehorned into running very specific skills in different ways that other classes didn't have to do that for. And so I do like this change. I do like this change quite a bit. I've wanted to use Skeletal Mage on my Necromancer for years. And there was like one patch where they buffed the damage to where it was usable, and then they said it was too strong and they nerfed it. And so I've always wanted to use the skill. I've wanted to be able to use the Necromancer in a way to where I could be more of an undeath summoner, but it doesn't function that way. Like it's too hard to keep all these different abilities up in order to use them. But this is a very nice addition. I will say this. I do like this quite a bit. Bone Tyrant, Bone Armor. This ability and its morphs now grant minor resolve for the duration. The bones must have belonged to milk drinkers. Okay. So I doesn't Vigor already have minor resolve? Oh no, it's sorry. One second here. One second here. Yeah. So it's the right idea. It's the right idea. I don't see why Vigor would ever come off, though. That's the problem. So if it was a different minor buff, I really like the idea. But because it's like people aren't taking Vigor off, like I don't see the point. Bone Totem. This ability and its morphs now also apply major cowardice to enemies inside it. Such horrific sights instill hopelessness to even the mightiest of foes. Okay. Still think it's good not being forced to have Vigor. Yeah, that's fair. No, that is fair. That's a good point. You shouldn't be forced to run any skill. It's just Vigor is so good that I don't know when you could ever take it off, especially on a Necromancer. But I do agree with that point. I do agree. I just wish it would be better so you could stack what everybody else is stacking, you know? Or a different buff. Agony Totem. The synergy granted from this morph, Pure Agony, no longer applies minor vulnerability as the Bone now applies it. Okay. Ghostly Embrace. This morph now also deals damage equal to half of a normal area effect spammable attack to enemies in each patch. What? This morph now also deals damage equal to half of a normal area of effect spammable attack to enemies in each patch. The ability now ranks up 1.1% rather than... Okay. We're adding some additional damage sources outside of Necromancer's Gravelord skill line to help inject some contextual options for damage production without harming the utility. While this ability won't outweigh some purely damage-oriented skills, with proper aiming and placement, the ability to hit the same enemy with multiple patches allows for some powerful damage scaling that can contextually outperform other ability options. Interesting. I don't know if this is any good, but I do like this idea. Like going this direction, giving more damage dealing options, giving people a reason to run Skeletal Mage. I think this is quite good. Like those two changes are quite nice. I don't know if this is going to be worth putting on a bar. I would have to test it to find out. I'm just saying adjusting this is good. Living Death, Spirit Mender, Intensive Mender. This morph now also heals 2 additional allies within 8 meters of the original target, since the morph did not add direct power to the base ability. Oh boy. Wow. Wow. Nightblade. Shifted numerous Nightblade abilities to improve their thematic tie into their skill line while simultaneously addressing some long-standing balance issues the class has had in PvP environments. These changes are listed below rather than explaining each change in an isolated bullet point. Move Blur and its morphs out of the Assassination skill line and into the Shadow skill line. This makes complete sense to me. Blur is now the first ability in the Shadow line, taking place of Veiled Strike. This means Blur and its morphs will now be treated as Shadow abilities and interact with augments that come from the Shadow skill tree line rather than the Assassination skill line. Sure. Move Veiled Strikes and its morphs out of the Shadow skill line and into the Assassination skill line. Yes. Veiled Strike is now the first ability in the Assassination skill line, taking the place of Assassin's Blade. This means Veiled Strike and its morphs will now be treated as Assassination abilities and interact with augments that come from Assassination skill line rather than the Shadow skill line. Moved Assassin's Blade and its morphs to the open spot that Blur originally occupied as the third ability unlocked from the skill line. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. I don't think we need to read the developers' comments. I mean, Veiled Strike is you kill people with it. It should be in the Assassination skill line. Blur is an evasion ability. It should be in the Shadow one. This is pretty self-explanatory. I think this makes sense. I don't know why I never really thought of it, to be honest. I was just like, okay, yeah, this goes here. And I never really considered contextually that they're in the wrong spot. Shadow Barrier. This passive now grants major resolve for 6 to 12 seconds rather than 3 to 6 seconds. It now increases by 2 seconds per piece of heavy armor worn at either rank, rather than extending the duration by 25% per piece worn. Holy cow. Now that Veiled Strike no longer activates this passive, we're making it easier to manage for the class as a whole, while still creating incentives to benefit tanks over damage dealers. Overall, this should now be easier to upkeep at all levels, but should still have less uptime for Nightblades that aren't engaging with the more evasive side of their toolkit. These new values should now also better align with the duration effect abilities that are extended with Dark Veil. We don't expect this to rock the boat too much in either PvE or PvP, but should reinforce the need to cast Shadow abilities more regularly, rather than being able to main it simultaneously while dealing their bread and butter damage deck. Sure. 6 to 12 seconds is fine, especially if you're running a Cloak or something like that. Dark, like any form of Dark Cloak. Or, okay. I can get with it. I can get with it. The notes just say bad, 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 bad. We don't play our own game. They're not bad. These aren't bad. There's a few sets that I think need to be buffed. But yeah, these aren't bad so far, Matt. Siphoning. Fix an issue where this ability and its morph's healing failed to activate if the target was blocking. Okay. Funnel Health. This morph now heals up to 3 targets rather than 2, so its morph power upgrade is similar to Radiating Regeneration. What? Tana, what's going on? Good to see you. Funnel Health is such a weird skill. Okay. Sork, Daedric Summoning, Daedric Curse. This ability and its morphs now deal their full damage in an area around the cursed enemy, rather than dealing full damage to the cursed enemy and half damage in an area around them. Wow. Higher, harder hitting curse to everybody. This damage can now be blocked, as this feature is never messaged on the ability and is not considered damage over time, nor is it... Thank you. Thank you. This is it. Okay, so I like this change. I'm not a Sork main. I've never understand why curse was unblockable. Like it's never really made sense. It made a little bit more sense way back in the day when they didn't have an unblockable stun. Like when you didn't have an unblockable stun, like and somebody could just hold permablock in front of you, it made sense to have some damage go through your shield. But it was always annoying when you ran across like 2 or 3 Sorks years ago where they just chunk your health. There's really not much you could do about it. You can't dodge it. You can't block it. Like you just take that damage. So it being blocked, it makes a lot of sense. And especially now with Sork being in a very good spot, allowing people to have a little bit of more counterplay. They already have an unblockable stun. They have other abilities to allow this to go off. So this makes a lot of sense to me. I think this makes a lot of sense. So I do like this change quite a bit. The thing is with funnel health though, the damage partially scales off damage done. So if people block it, the healing is also again. Yeah, it's such a weird skill. It's halved off of Swallow Soul, which also isn't a very good. From last I remember, I don't know if they've adjusted it since last time I read patch notes, but it's less damage. The healing is based off of damage done. It applying to another person is interesting, but I don't see a practicality to where it'd be useful. Like your goal in PvP is to still kill people. So like, are you going to run a healer with funnel health, but you're not going to deal any damage and you're hoping you're going to heal people with it? Like I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how that would ever fit on a bar. Daedric Prey, this morph now properly mentions that it also forces your active pets to prioritize the target. Excellent. We're moving forward with a change that streamlines this ability to one powerful area attack rather than splitting between a single target and an area attack to help sorcerers gain some cleave damage in PvE. In addition, we're moving some remnant balance behavior to the skill line unable to be blocked, as originally the sorcerer class had no real way to deal with enemies that blocked their burst windows. Sure. So I didn't read these, guys. Okay, I didn't read these, I promise. The telegraphed nature of the skill was easily countered. Over the years, however, the weakness has naturally been solved with the addition of crowd control that cannot be blocked in the form of bolt escape and its morphs. Guys, I didn't read these, I promise. This should help reduce the incredibly powerful burst that the class can constantly dish out in PvP from a base, and instead shift the focus to only be able to pull these events off when they're taking riskier plays. Yes. So this is shift the focus to only be able to pull these events off when they're taking riskier plays. It means when you're good. When you're good and you do good Sork things, you get rewarded for doing good Sork things. This is smart. Like I like this a lot. I know I already said it, but I did not read these developer comments. Despite, I know we've all watched people react to a video, and you can tell beforehand that they watched it, and then they're commenting, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this for the first time, guys. Like, this is a first time react, but I'm gonna be really witty and to the point, and I know what they're gonna say, and I didn't see these, but yeah, I'm my opinion, and there's a line here. I think that's good. Hardened Ward, how hasn't that been nerfed? Not sure if you know it's busted. I've heard it's very powerful. Yeah, I heard it wasn't adjusted either. Surprising. The class set makes it more interesting to use, but it's only okay, not necessarily good. Yes. Yeah, the class set's so weird. It's so weird. All right, Templar, Dawn's Wrath, Radiant Destruction. Fix an issue where this ability and its morphs visuals would appear to spill out and reflect on yourself when the ability is triggered, the overcharge status effect on the enemy target. Solar Flare, increase the duration of the Sun Sphere and empower granted from this ability, and the Dark Flare morph to 10 seconds, up from 5. Okay. Warden, Winter's Embrace, Arctic Wind. Blap. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much, Blap. Guys, if you don't know, Blap has been, still is, question mark? My partner in crime for ESO 2VX shenanigans, and he streams. Blap currently is streaming ESO weekly, and he's been doing it for a couple of weeks now. So if you guys are in chat and you haven't gone to Blap's channel, you should absolutely do that. Oh my goodness, where's your name at? Where's your name at, big dog? Let me You have like 10,000 underscores in your last name.
What the fuck, man?
Flap is dirt. There. I did it myself. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Blap. I appreciate it, dude. All right, Arctic Blast. This morph now instantly deals damage equal to normal area of effect spammable attack. What? Rather than healing you instantly. Instead, the healing happens if no targets are affected by the stun. What? What? This morph now instantly deals damage equal to a normal area of effect spammable attack. Okay. Rather than healing you instantly. Instead, the healing happens if no targets are affected by the stun. Damage over time now only starts after a 2-second delay rather than instantly. What the hell is this? Reduce the damage over time by 21% per tick, resulting in little to no changes in its total base damage dealt with the initial hit added. Reduce the base chance to apply chilled status effect to 10% per tick, down from 15. Okay. I don't understand. Rework this passive, grant varying effects based... Okay, Piercing Cold. Rework this passive to grant varying effects based on your max health to better align with the passive being for tanks, while continuing to offer something for damage dealers. This passive now grants Piercing Cold for 6 seconds when you deal frost damage, up to once every 6 seconds. If you have 30,000 or more max health, Piercing Cold increases the damage you block by 6 to 12%. If you have less than 30,000 max health, it grants you 4 to 8% damage done. Who's running under 30% max health? We're reevaluating this passive to reduce the restrictions it places on builds, while simultaneously making sure we offer a tank-oriented bonus for the tanking-based skill line. In addition to this, we're ensuring the bonuses are less likely to inject offensive power in PvP scenarios, as the Warden is already consistently finding success at dealing damage while remaining tanky. The damage bonuses are less than the previous iteration of this passive, since it's significantly less restrictive to damage build pass, and the previous update also added more damage to their kit as well in the form of Betting Edge. Piercing Cold is for PvE. Yeah. I don't think Zos knows what the hell they want to do with Arctic Blast anymore. The change history of the skill just ping-pongs back and forth. It's so weird. Yeah, I mean, this is... So you get damage done in PvE. They just don't want that damage applying in PvP. Well, I have news for you. That's interesting. Increase the damage you block by 6 to 12%. That's such a nothing. Like adding 10% more block mitigation is just so meh. The Warden mains in my chat were loving it. The Piercing Cold change? Okay. Yeah, I actually don't hate Piercing Cold changes because it's a hit for high health Warden's damage. Yeah, and high health Warden is aids skill. Yeah. Yeah, you don't get the damage done bonus. Like, increases the damage you block by 6 to 12% is... Okay. They said 29.9k HP meta. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I was already running 29 or 28k Necromancer health, which is high resistances. You could still do it. You just have to add a little bit more resistances to your health bar. That's all you have to do, and then you can get 4 to 8%. So, I mean, that's what I would do. And I think that makes everybody happier as a whole, because then they go, okay, now Wardens aren't going to run around with 40k health. Great. Yeah, you can have damage. You can have damage if you die. 29.9k front bar, 31k back. Clever alchemist back bar. Psych, what's going on, man? Yes, that's smart. That is smart. That's exactly how you do it. Yeah, I mean, outside of bad players, which is also me, you just don't see many players running below 30k health. Doing these sorts of bonuses, saying like, yeah, if you want to have like nice damage bonuses, you have to run under 30k max health. That's how you incentivize people to not stack so much crazy stupid health. I think that's a smart way to approach it. Destruction Staff. Ancient Knowledge. Fixed an issue where this passive could cause your health bar to glow permanently. Okay. Weakness to elements. Elemental Susceptibility. Fixed an issue where this ability would break stealth and invisibility each tick. Yes. Thank you. Like I'm sorry. Dual wield, hidden blade, shrouded daggers. That's a good change. If it's single target, it shouldn't be doing that. Shrouded daggers fixed an issue where the bouncing daggers were not properly treated as a range attack in some instances. Okay. I'm late, just here to say Undeath change is good, everything else is doo-doo. Okay. I'm still running 67k health on my Warden regardless. Hounds, you friggin' tank. Good to see you, man. Don't like that it made Ice Staff useless, but it's actually a buff on certain builds. Yeah. Yeah, that's never fun. I agree with you. Still running 44k on mine. Audio, what's going on? Good to see you. When running Thracian Warden will be a fat buff. Jesus Christ. Yes. I didn't even think about Thracian Warden. Yeah, that is a huge buff. Seen some good Wardens that desire to hit really hard, run 30k H. Yeah, it can absolutely be done. It can absolutely be done. I think it's such a good change for Warden. So this is the last thing I'll say about it. I love this direction. I think this direction is a really good idea to get people back into killing range. And if they did like an overhaul in PvP and they found all the classes that ran high health and they provided this incentive and they said, hey, you know, if you want to run 38k HP, 40k HP, 45, you're more than inclined to, you're going to lose some damage. But if you want to have more damage, you have to run under 30k or 32k or whatever. Like, you can provide these incentives in a way to make people choose how much health they have. And it just makes for a healthier PvP experience. Just to eliminate the completely like stupid high health unkillable builds. Like, not fully unkillable, but like, you guys know what I'm talking about. Just the ones that have so much health that it's really hard to combo and then they restore themselves really quickly. This is a good idea. Okay. Fighters Guild, Silverbolt, Silver Leash. Fix an issue with this morph where it could behave like other pull abilities. Okay. Entropy, Structured Entropy. Fix an issue with where this morph would remove stealth and invisibility from the target each time the healing projectile was sent to the caster of the effect. Cool. Is this ESO? Yes, this is ESO. Werewolf. Fix an issue where some passives could be gained in werewolf form when they should be disabled. Okay. Roar. Fix an issue where this morph's taunt could apply multiple targets at once. Oh my goodness. That's all they did for werewolf? Undeath. This passive now okay, here we go. Here's the Undeath changes. This passive now reduces damage taken by up to 5 to 10%, down from up to 15 to 30%. This is a huge change. They literally didn't need to do anything else. Sincerely. They didn't need to do anything else. This is such a good change. Wow. Remove the stage 3 or higher requirement of this passive now that its bonuses are far less potent. Undeath has granted incredibly sharp bonuses for a while. Yeah, they have. Incentivizing huge investment into the Kiss Curse aspect that Vampire has. This made it highly potent for players who could work around the trade-offs while simultaneously creating very exclusive bonus that many could not get value out of. What? Who wasn't getting value out of Undeath? Undeath was just better across the board. Like, it was just better. If you wanted mitigation versus everything, it was better. And sustain is so ridiculously easy to get. Like, how are people not taking advantage of this? We're taking a different approach now, granting bonuses at a baseline to remove its restrictiveness, while also reducing the power density so it's far less enabling for survivability. Okay, so what's the value of stage 3 then? Because stage 3 was Undeath, and with the cost increase. So now it's either stage 1 or stage 4, because stage 4 is the sprint cloak. So there's no extra bonuses for 2 and 3 then? Read more. Stage 1 gonna get it now? Yeah. Yeah, this is really good. I feel bad now. I thought I was late. No, you're good, man. You're good. They hinted at it earlier, so I knew it was coming. It's gonna feel like a new game. This is huge. This is so huge. With the mitigation changes that they already made with this is a huge change. Like, Undeath was so strong, it was even better versus DKs. Like, you were like, even though DKs were, you know, vampires were susceptible to fire damage, the Undeath was so strong, it was better than not running Undeath for fire damage mitigation. Now, I don't know the exact numbers. I haven't played in a while, guys, but you would assume that maybe this is a decision now. You would assume that maybe you might not want to go vampire because, you know, DKs are eating your cheeks and they're just absolutely destroying you. This is really good. This is really good. It took a while, but this is a very, very good change. Very good. 2 is damage, but oh yeah. You're right. Sorry. Yeah, you get your 300 weapon and spell damage from stealth. Right. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, thank you. I completely forgot about that. Yes. This is a good change. I like this. I like this a lot. Champion system, scribing, grimoires, elemental explosion, Mender's Bond. Okay, so these are different sets. I'm not going to read through the sets, guys. That's... Sorry. Stealth DK damage nerf. Itemization of item sets, crafted sets, dunder sets, monster sets, companions, quests and zones, monsters, NPCs, UI. Man, I'm gonna have to get on the PTS this time. I might have to get on the PTS this week. Alliance War and PvP. Unexpected campaign prompts no longer occur. Previously, you would remain queued when a campaign closed, such as at the end of White Strike's Mayhem. When, if that campaign reopened in the future, you would suddenly find yourself with a prompt to enter Cyrodiil. Now you have the option to re-queue for the campaign if it reopens in the future. Okay. The No CP campaign Ravenwatch and No CP Imperial City now allows item set procs. Okay, guys, this is the second biggest change. This is the second biggest one. They unalived No CP like 2 to 3 years ago with their change. I still think that it was an okay idea. They just needed to expand on it more. Removing proc sets and No CP, it made a lot of sense, but they needed to expand the amount of sets that you could run in No CP. That was the issue. They needed to expand the sets. So you could only run like, what, 10 of them? And so the problem is it was a very limited from a build diversity perspective, and it became really boring. And so that was the issue with No CP. And if they continued to go, and they added sets like Clever Alchemist, they added other damage dealing sets and proc sets like Bloodspawn and everything, I think No CP would have been fine. But this is also fine. Like this, if they don't want to deal with it, they don't want to deal with another set of rules, reverting this is a very good change. Like Ravenwatch on PCNA, when I first started maining PCNA, was the most populated campaign. And then immediately, as soon as those changes happened, it died. They killed it with these changes. And so reverting them, once again, it took a while, but this is a good change. In efforts to provide a smoother on-ramping experience from Battlegrounds to Cyrodiil, we're enabling item set procs once again in no CP rule sets. Very good change. Very, very good change. Changes are a lot more positive than I expected. Me too, man. Me too. July 25th, PvP event starts. Let me know if you are. I think the Templar set is potentially really good. It doesn't look bad on paper. The only bad sets are the Necromancer set and the fucking Sork set. And even then, like the Sork set, 15% more healing done might not be bad for a healer, but no CP change only matters for PC, new console. Sorry, what's going on here? ESO patch notes. 6, what's going on, good dude? Good to see you. This is a good change. No CP campaign Ravenwatch now will include Volendrung. This is not a good change. In my opinion. In my humble ass opinion, Volendrung sucks ass. Get rid of it, please. I like a pet. Mr. Spaghetti just dueling it out with the pizza mafia. In efforts to provide a more consistent Cyrodiil experience between all campaigns, we are re-enabling Volendrung and no CP campaigns. Better idea. Remove it entirely. Just remove it entirely. Get rid of it on CP. Get rid of it on no CP. Just get rid of Volendrung. No CP Imperial City now allows item set procs. So no change in rule sets. I do like that change. Art and animation, crafting economy, dungeons and group content, exploration and itemization, housing, miscellaneous, quests and zones, Rivenspire, game. Okay, that's the end of the patch notes. Quick, guys, we got an hour into it. You missed it? Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I kind of scrolled through it fast. Not bad. These, like, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to make big changes. The undeath passive change is huge. The warden change with the health modifier, that's really nice. The no CP IC change is also really nice. And those 3 changes with nothing just clearly drastically really bad makes these good patch notes. Like there's nothing that's so off the wall bonkers that it could potentially kill the patch. These are good patch notes. Now I wish they did more for Necromancer. Like I do wish they did that. I wish they provided a little bit more love to Necromancer, but they did some. They did do some. I will say that if they change Bone Armor to provide a different minor buff than Minor Resolve, I think that'd be a better adjustment. But what they did here, like structurally providing minor buffs and different adjustments to different skills and abilities is a nice little outside the edges change. But yeah, some of the sets look really cool. It'd be fun to test some of the sets. Big PvP update coming later this year. 3 new Volendrung-like weapons coming to Cyrodiil. Volendrung and his big brothers. Thoughts? I'm happy with the undeath, but class changes look terrible. Okay. I would say I don't think all of the class changes look terrible. I mean, I would have to test. I'm definitely out of the loop, so I don't want to claim. I'm out of the loop. I'm not seeing any. Could you comment on specifically what you're talking about? Enough for me to come back. So I did say it earlier. I was planning on coming, but so wait, let me put it this way. I still need to finish the Elden Ring DLC. And when I'm done with the Elden Ring DLC, then I was planning on coming back to ESO at least a little bit to try it out. Try out the new changes and everything. With Ashes Alpha 2 coming out this fall, I'll be playing more of that, but hopping on ESO, playing ESO was something I was planning on trying to do this fall. So Um, but yeah, these changes look good. They don't look bad. Yeah, I did like the chapter release stuff. I liked the scribing. I liked the changing of the skills and abilities. It changed how the meta was going to function. I liked that a lot. I liked that their mitigation math, not vigor math. I liked that their mitigation math was adding an unreasonable amount of damage, and they adjusted that so people were easier to kill. That plus his like my biggest issues with ESO were the staleness of the meta. Like having the exact same proc sets for 2 years was not fun. People stacking unreasonable, like just some people you'd engage in a 1v1 with, you couldn't kill because they were just so ridiculously tanky, and survivability was through the roof, and time to kill was ridiculously high. So I didn't like it for that reason in performance. And all of my friends are either lying to me or they're saying performance has gotten better to where it feels good most of the time. They just nuked Undeath, and they just changed how a lot of the meta functions as far as variability with this new update. So if those things are holding me back, everything they've done, they've changed it for the better. It's never been about broken sets or anything, or overpowered classes or anything like that. I've never cared about that. It's just, is it fun? Come for Mayhem at least. Mayhem on the 25th. I'm gonna have to beat Elden Ring by then. Arctic gets a good skill that doesn't need changed. Flail. Arc is turning in more current arc where the only damage skills you use are not class damage skills. I never said that. Unbelievable. Blap, you know I have Discord up, right? You know I can go into our chat and I can do a search for performance. Crow buffs I'm happy with, but why would you run Arch over Rally on most builds, etc., etc.? Mender is now AoE when... Yeah. I like the direction, but I don't think many skills for Necro are feasible with these current iterations. They're not good enough. I'm gonna do a search for Game Works. I'm gonna screenshot it right now, Blap. It's over for you. It's over for Blap, guys. Blap, the Game Works. Look at this. The Game Works. Some kids like to play in Dirtman. Now that no CP is back to proc, I think populations will even out. It's a very good change. I think a lot of people will go back to no CP. Wrong game? Are you really trying to gaslight me right now? Do I need to pull all of it? Okay, chat. Should I expose more Blap DMs here where he was very clearly talking about ESO? Do I have to do this? I don't know anything about Arcanist clipping, so that's my thing. I wasn't sure if those changes were good or bad. I'm in the air about the crit buff. I've tried it in the past, but it's hard to keep people in it and keep it up outnumbered. Sure. I was talking about Minecraft. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You did this to yourself, Blap. I'm just telling you right now. You did this to yourself. That's a bad one. Hold on. Hold on. There it is. We were bodying people in IC and he invited me to group. Then we bodied people in Cyrodiil. So is this Cyrodiil in Minecraft? Is that what we're talking about, Blap? And then he said the game works. I didn't mold yet, but he also did say, but I'm sure if I play more, I will uninstall before Monday. Guys, this was back in February. It is now July, and Blap is streaming the game. So I don't think he uninstalled before Monday. That's all I'm saying. You were not talking about Minecraft. You were not. You crafted Cyrodiil. There's still a lot of shenanigans at prime time and PvEs lagging all over the place. Sure. Well, yeah, these don't look bad. These do not look bad, guys. One second here. I'll put this up like this. I'm going to make sure I'm not doxing myself. 1 second. Okay. Am I just an idiot? There it is. One second, guys. Sorry. One second. It's been so long, I forgot how to add the PTS to the downloader. What's happening? Did we freeze? Did the installer freeze? Okay, guys, I'm an idiot, I guess. How do I get the PTS on the installer? Why am I forgetting this? It's been on there for so long, and when I re-downloaded it, it didn't exist anymore. Do I have to go onto the website in order to download the server? Is that what I have to do? Way of Fire Reflected. Look on the gear. I thought I did. Show public test environment. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Oh my God. Come on. You do the same? Okay. Come here, you. This loader is being a pain in the ass. Okay. There we go. All right, we're downloading. I'm not gonna do it tonight, but we are downloading the PTS. I will test some of these things and get my feet wet. We'll see how it goes. I haven't touched a controller in forever. It's been a long time. Slow. Well, yeah. Those are the patch notes, guys. They're pretty good. They're pretty good on paper, I think. So I think I'll just. I don't want to bounce to. I mean, unless you guys want to see some Risk. I don't want to play something like super intensive right now. If you guys want to hang out and chat while I stream some Risk, we can. If not, I'll call it here. Thank you for the notes. Yeah, it was fun. They were honestly good patch notes. I'm very surprised. Very good changes. Okay, 43%. Well, yeah, I will end this here. You guys have a good one. I will catch you in the next stream. Stream Elden Ring. I will blap. I don't want to play tonight. I'm a little tired right now. I will continue to stream Elden Ring. I'm a little tired. I don't want to deal with it right now. All right. Well, I can kick up some Risk for just a little bit. Yeah, it's been a long weekend. It's been a long weekend. We've been in and out of our house. We had a bunch of family stuff. I'm just, a little burnt out from fun. I'll sleep well. Oh, I definitely will. I definitely will. Go to sleep then. I will. I'm going to sleep soon. We do seamless shenanigans soon? Yes, we do. It'll be fun. Yeah, Blap, I don't know if you saw, but they updated den mods for Elden Ring. And we're talking about getting a bunch of people in for like free for all. We're gonna load into a certain area of the map, and then it's just last man standing Highlander rules. It's gonna be fucking sick. Oh, okay. Game capture. There it goes. Weird. All right, guys. I am currently downloading ESO in the background. Why is this browser source going off? It's so weird. We're gonna load in. You get a level 999. Sick. Come on, you. It might be because of ESO. I'm gonna pause this real quick. Try again. Yeah, downloading now. We'll see how she goes. There we go. Imagine playing ESO, play a live game like New World. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe they fumbled last fall so badly. Like, sincerely, last fall was so much fun. I had so much fun last fall. Where are my free-for-all points? What? Why am I at 0? I gained points last night. Okay, so I used to play a lot of Risk when I was younger. I had a few friends that I would play Risk with, and I have always enjoyed Risk. I've always enjoyed Risk. And I played a lot like a year ago. Then I stopped and I needed a clip for a video. I was like, okay, I'll hop on and I'll play a couple games of Risk. And then I got a small addiction and I wanted to play a few more games. It involves a lot of thinking, but there's a lot less, you know, it's... One second. All right, is this loud enough? We'll put it here. I think this should be loud enough. There we go. But yeah, they started a new season a while back, and I haven't played in a while. So I've only won one game. True random, progressive card bonus. Sure. I'm not as good with progressive, but let's do it. Yeah, this game's just a lot more strategy based. Look at that fucking chin. Jay Muttdog did not confirm. Unbelievable. Okay, so I'm towards the bottom, and I'm also blue. Where's my layout? Okay, so I got a bunch up here. Europe or America are probably my choices. Yeah, and I got a 4 stack over here, and I got a... So I can combine these. It's looking like I try to take Europe. That's what it's looking like. And if I could somehow get my 5 stack out of Australia, that'd be even better. What would you rate the patch notes as you're a professional patch notes reviewer? Seven and a half. They're some of the best patch notes I've seen. I'd give them a 7.5. They're good. If the sets or if the buffs for the the patch, the balance changes were a little bit better, as far as like adjustments for identifying an issue with specific classes and fixing them, if those were just a little bit better, it would have been an 8 or a 9 pretty easily. But like the Necro was the right direction. They could easily bump the overall patch notes up to an 8 or a 9 if they just make some tweaks to the minor buffs that like Necromancer's getting. That's really good for Zos. I think so. I agree. No DK buff 2 out of 10. You did get a DK buff. What are you talking about? Unbelievable. Okay, I gotta assign troops. We will... Yeah, we'll go here. Yeah, I was like, why can't I hit this? Consolidate a little bit. There we go. So yeah, so this entire game, for those of you guys that don't know, is based off of you have to dominate the entire world. And so what you have is you have your troops and you slowly try to conquer. And you have everybody else trying to do the same. And so different games online, you can have different varying points of allies versus enemies. I don't know if you can actually. Oh, we can make alliances here. So it's up to you. It's up to you on what you want to do. But yeah, each continent has a bonus for troops. So each round you get armies based off of how many countries you own. So if you have 12 countries, you get 3. If you have 6, you get 2. As an example, wait. 12, you get 4. 9, you get 3. 6, you get 2. And you get bonuses. So South America's +2, more armies each turn. Africa's +3. Australia's +2. Europe's +7. Or sorry, Asia's +7. Europe's +5. And America's +5. And so the 2 of the better starting points in a big map like this, like starting right away, South America's good, and like people like South America and Australia because like, you get more armies coming in quickly. Australia plays a little bit slower. Europe is very risky. It's a risky gamble because you have so many points of attack around you. North America is pretty solid because it's 3 points of attack, just like Africa is, but you get 5 instead of 3. So it's just like, it's a little bit bigger. When you try to take North America, people focus you quite a bit. Really think the scribing skills, major and minor buffs, need to have timers based on the skill and the buff. I could see that. Feel like they threw darts on a board when making scribing, decided what buffs to go with skill and how long they're... Yeah. Okay. So go here. We'll slowly fortify here. Yeah, I thought some of the changes were a little weird. The undeath change is so good. Like that's been an issue in my opinion for ESO PvP for a while. People, there are good tanky sets. Like if you get rid of the mitigation for undeath, people will be able to adjust sets to suit their playstyle. But being so tanky is just not good for PvP, especially with the amount of cross healing that exists in the game. So I like that change quite a bit. That's good enough on its own to give it a positive review. Some of the sets were really cool. And then yeah. What was the other big change? Oh yeah, the no CPIC stuff. That's a good, hey, we're reverting this. We're gonna bring this back. I think that's really smart. Bloodthirsty stocks going up, yeah. I mean, how hard is a spectral bow going to hit for now? That's what I want to know. High damage meta, we love to see it. Yes. And absolutely, they'll have to make, changes in the future on this. Like some classes, I'm sure will hit harder, and people will have to make adjustments. But everybody dying is a good thing. The tanky no die meta is always just lame as shit, in my opinion. Ethereal Ascension comeback, like it never left. Psych, like it never left. I love that. I love that set. It's so good. Yeah, when I stopped playing, I was running Ethereal Ascension basically 2 years ago. When I came back, I was like, okay, well, I'll just run Ethereal Ascension still. I'm not going to change a build for when I'm trying stuff. And so that's what I did. I just ran the exact same setup. And then I stopped. And so I still have Ethereal Ascension on my character. And it looks like it probably just won't come off. If they're changing Undeath like this, Ethereal Ascension will probably just stay on. Which is a buff for Necromancer. Like, actually having damage is quite nice. It's a buff for everybody else in a much bigger way. But, like, Necromancer will have a little bit more damage now that not everybody's so tanky. It's a nice change. 20k bow on me yesterday. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, there's nothing worse in ESO PvP when you hop on a class and you have no chance of doing something. Like we've all been there. Like different classes have been buffed and nerfed over time, so I'm not speaking anything foreign here, but we've all been there where our favorite class for whatever reason was just so bad no matter what we ran, like we just couldn't kill people consistently, and it's frustrating. You run across a specific class that just hard counters the shit out of you, and it's unfortunate. And there were a few classes when I was last playing where it was just really hard to get kills, and so you just kind of felt like, okay, well I guess I played Nightblade, Sork, or DK if I want to kill something. And they've slowly expanded that, obviously, like to where I think Necro's the only one really far behind, but Necro's first class set is basically current on death. Is it really? I should adjust this, by the way. 1 second. Go. Yeah, let's see where we have for troops. Okay, we don't have a card yet. It's okay. Sorry. Going nice and slow. Oh, no. He can't wipe me out, so I don't think he's going to take out my 12 stack. But I still don't want to be next to him. There we go. Just dropped in the stream, missed you, but what did you think of the Undeath change? I thought it was great. Oh, Delirious. I thought it was really good. Say Necromancer, we know that's what you mean. Yeah, current Necromancer is what I mean. But even like during the Markarth patch, as an example, if it wasn't for that infinite misform build, like Templar was such cheeks. Like it took 2 different proc sets and infinite misform to make Templar that patch good. That's how bad Templar was, and it's kind of funny to go back and look at it because it was a lot better after. But there's just some patches where it's just dog shit. With that, might be able to build a lot of damage. That's true, Psych. That's actually a good point. That's really smart. Let's take a peek at it. Nobility and Decay has slowly become one of the best backbar sets in the game for PvP. Ooh. You want to ally with me, but you're in my way? Brother, you got to get out of the way then. Damage is probably the highest it's ever been with no undeath things. Will be interesting. For sure. I've only been hit hard by procs. I don't think I've seen a strong damage build in a minute, but I'm console pleb, so what do I know? Well, it depends on the meta you're at, right? Like different people run different things on different platforms. I will say that, I mean, I don't know if Blap would agree with me, but I never really noticed a huge skill difference between the average player on PC and Xbox, the average player. But Xbox players ran infinitely more tanky setups. Like Xbox players, like they were just so much tankier than PC. PC players actually try to run damage. They'll run in groups, they'll try to coordinate, they'll try to work together. And Xbox was just like, we're tanks, we're going in. and I think that was the biggest difference. I've hit some absolutely goofy damage numbers on Necro, or sorry, I've hit some absolutely goofy damage numbers playing on PC that I wouldn't have hit on Xbox. All right, we're gonna save our points. Do we have any yet? Okay. Okay, so somebody turned it in. We're going to hold on to our cards for now. I'll bring these over. So we're just slowly consolidating. So how this strategy basically works is we have escalating amounts of bonuses for armies, and it gets really ridiculous at the end. And you have to pick the right time to nuke one specific person. So oftentimes people will spread out because you can get into an escalation to where you collect their cards and you get more and more armies and it gets crazy. Will the change on death, what kind of impact will it cause to PvP? It'll be really good. Like there are so many defensive capabilities in the game. There's so many different forms of defensive capabilities that the undeath passive, it could be adjusted like that and people will still adjust to be tanky if they want to. Like you'll still be able to be tanky if you want to, but now you have to make more of a choice. And it should lower the time to kill, and it should open a window to where more people will die. It'll be a much burstier meta, in my opinion. Alright, so we got 8, 10, and 12. What do other people have in cards? 1, 5. So he's waiting. He's right here. He's got a big stronghold. I kind of want him to drop his troops. I might not get a choice. I might just have to turtle this one. Because we got somebody here with oh my goodness. We got someone here with North America. We have all this chicanery down here. I think this 5 stack down here is protecting me, if we're being honest. Procs are still super popular. Yeah. Yeah, people will be taking a lot more damage. Imagine PvP update in quarter 4. They're making a set that replaces Undeath. I watched a few videos on the housing change where they're allowing housing tours. What do you guys think about that? Are there any housing mains in chat to comment on the adjustment? I saw it got a lot of backlash just because from what I read, they've been talking about how awesome it's going to be for a while, and then it's basically like you can already get it on PC with an add-on. So a lot of people are just like, okay, you're going to give me something I already have. But for console accessibility, it looked nice. Okay, I got +3 here. Okay, I don't know why he didn't attack here. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so pink has 5. I gotta be really careful with pink. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I gotta trade these in. Okay, so pink's got 5. Can I nuke pink? 7? No, I don't. I can't nuke pink. Okay, I'm gonna keep this stack open. I'm not gonna take Europe because he's gonna turn in armies here, and I want him to attack somebody else that's not me. That's the goal. And I think with the 5 stack over here, he's not gonna be able to take me out. He's not gonna be able to take my cards. And this will incentivize him to go this way, hopefully. Can I turn him in? No. All right, this is where it gets really hectic. Oh, he's gonna attack me anyways? Rather an entire 5-piece set than a literal passive? Yeah. Yeah, stacking's a pain in the ass. See, I told you he was gonna break. He was gonna break in. I don't know why he didn't take out purple. But I suppose because they only have one card and he's worried about this 26 stack. Okay, how many does red has no cards? Red's doing the same thing I'm doing. They don't want to break this because they know that they're going to get attacked right away. What is this? Okay. Alright, now they're going for it. Okay, who can I focus here? Can I take anybody out? Green's got 42. They got a 38 stack over here. 35. I'm at 40. I'll put a big ass target on my back here. He's getting really cozy just hanging out over here. Right by this huge ass fucking stack. Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay. No, we'll add him over here. All right, I'm gonna get broken a lot, but I'm just sitting back until I get cards, and somebody else is gonna have to kind of make a push in order for me to do something, because we got this. Like, you don't want to overextend yourself and then get swept behind somebody, and everybody's just kind of all over the place. Attack my. So once this gets taken out, like, I could actually be focused. There's pink. I think pink's gonna break me. Yep. What are they gonna do? If I'm pink, who do I go after if I'm pink? Are they just gonna turtle up? Are you really gonna turtle up? Okay. So I got 30. Please open me up. Open this right here. So whoever opens me, I'm going into. I could actually potentially take red out. Wait, no, I can't. It'd be close. Now I can't. If he takes me out here, I can't. What's up? What did I say? Oh no. All right, I'm gonna have to turtle for a little bit. I gotta find somebody with cards. I got 35 coming. I gotta take somebody out. Can I take out green? 67. And he's got 4 cards. I'm so far away. Fuck. Okay. That might be a mistake. I should have turned in my cards. That might have been a mistake. I don't think anybody can really pressure me. Yeah, pink doesn't have any armies. Red doesn't have enough armies to get me. The only one that could get me would be green. And green's got a roundabout through all these to get me. Go through at least this 14 and then up through here. Yeah, so I did okay. I'll turn in here. Perfect. Are you gonna nuke yourself on me? Why? Dude. Why? Why? Now I'm dead. Oh my god. It's over. See, I needed to turn in my cards. Now they're gonna see me with 5 cards and no armies. And they're gonna be all over me. Like if pink doesn't take me out, it's over. Okay. Like pink would be absolutely stupid to like keep me alive. Red I don't think can. Yeah, red doesn't have the cards to take me out. What are you gonna take? You're gonna take green? If you take green, you can take green and then take me. Did you mess it up? Please keep going slow. Keep going slow. Keep going slow. Lag out. Yep, there's 2 more. It's over for me. It's over. Come on. Yeah. I needed to add those troops. I don't know why he nuked into me. I didn't even do anything wrong. He must have had a suicide pact with whoever was going to attack him. I took one thing and he said, nope, F you, you're dead. This game gets so emotional, guys. Like, people get so emotional about getting attacked in this game, and it's hilarious. There. All right. I hit the wrong button. Domination, expert, balance splits fixed. Sure. You have a good night, Six. Thanks for hanging out, dude. All right, there we go. Yeah, so I guess he didn't like me taking his one thing. And then he just decided he was going to either take me out or he was going to take himself out. This game will bring out my gamer words. Yeah, I didn't think I was a threat at all. And he just went for it. Okay. So we have some block offs here. Let's see. I'm red. Got 2 in North America, 1 in Africa, and 1 in Asia. 1 in Europe. It looks like I got to get up to North America. So it looks like North America is my route that I got to get to. I'm gonna add troops and I'm gonna connect my stuff here. Currently under a League of Legends comms ban. You play League of Legends still? Why would you do such a thing? Okay. So it looks like Green's trying to go to South America, and he's nuking all of his armies to do so. Yikes. Yellow did the same thing. Yellow's trying to get to North America, and he nuked all of his armies to do the exact same thing. Can I take out Yellow? Let's see how I do here. I don't have enough armies to take out Yellow. I'm so close. Like I have the forest stack over here, and I have to get through 2 more, and I just don't have enough armies. If I had 7, I would try. Somebody's gonna take him out and get his 1 card. God, everybody's blowing themselves up in this game. This is crazy. What's pink gonna do? Okay, yellow has 7 troops. I think they just had to turtle. I don't know what they're trying to do here. Pink, you gotta get out of my way, dude. But sure, you know, we can. I mean, we're already allied. We're all the way across the map. But sure. Yeah, Blap, there's some things happen in this game. I was in a... Some people will collude with each other, and you don't realize it because there's no chat box, there's nothing, and you don't realize that the collusion is happening until later. And I had this game where I was way too trusting. It was 3 of us left, and we were all around the same in armies. And sorry, it was 4 of us left. 4 of us. I want to make sure it's right. And we're all about the same in armies. And one guy is attacking me, and he's annoying the shit out of me, and it sucks, right? Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna get you. And like the turn before I turned in cards, he got attacked really hard by another person, and I didn't have any allies. And he messaged me, he's like, hey, how about an alliance? I'm getting focused over here. And I was like, sure. Like, sure. So I'll ally with you. We'll take on everybody else, right? So that happened, and for whatever reason, I disagreed with him. It wasn't like crazy amounts of damage or anything, but regardless, we accepted the alliance, and then he proceeded to... I attacked the other person, and then immediately after that happened, he called off the alliance. Oh my goodness. He called off the alliance and then attacked me immediately after. And then I was like, okay, I can't trust this person. I can't trust this person that called an ally for me and then did that to me. So whatever, right? So then, oh my goodness. Okay. Then he ended up on the other side of the map. We weren't really anything to deal with. Like there was no interaction. Like he was like pink way down here, and I was way up here. So then the other person that I was having issues with, I went to attack him, and he got pressured this one round before, and so then he offered an alliance to me. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, we'll ally against this other person. We were just having like this weird 3-way. Pause. And then he did the exact same thing. Like I turned in my cards, I attacked the other person, and then he went hostile, and then So yeah, these two guys were basically colluding with each other, and for whatever reason, I got mad at the first one, and I was like, I just want to get vengeance. So whoever can help me do this, I will do that. And then I got double had by the second guy because I wanted my revenge. I probably should have taken out yellow earlier. Sounds like me getting betrayed by people I don't expect to zerg me. Yeah, everything's fun and cool until all of a sudden, you know, you're in a 20 man. And it's like, yeah, man, I'm just PvP and no big deal. Just join some PvP. We're gonna just add on to our stack here. We're gonna try and take North America. If Pink wants to ally, I'm gonna give him a chance to get out. Black kept pushing up into me, and so I'm gonna put my stack down here and just kind of let him know if he keeps pushing over here, I'm gonna hammer him. He's not in a situation to where he could just push up into my space like this. Ooh. Okay, so I can turn in all three. I can get 10. So we take this out, push down here. Okay, I'm going to give him a chance to get out, and we'll see. All right, where's blue going? Blue's way down here. Wow, blue pushed out Pink from down there. I don't know what Pink's gonna do over here. Taking out yellow. Sure. That's what I wanted to do. Got a couple cards. Is he gonna try and take out Pink now? I don't think he has the troops to take out Pink. Or the time. Alright, so he's got 4 cards. So this one doesn't have escalating troops like the other one. So you only get 4, 6, 8, or 10. So this one will go a little bit longer. Wow, he took it back. Nope, not yet. Close to it, though. We didn't take all of North America. We don't have enough troops to attempt to defend 3 points. So we don't have enough yet. We still have to take out this 4 stack. I'm giving Pink a chance to try to get out of here. I don't want to nuke their 4 stack and let them get wiped out because they're my only like I don't have a chance to take the cards myself. So we'll hold on to this card a little bit longer. We'll collect a little bit more slowly. I might have to take out black. Okay, so blue's cleaning out pink again. Yeah, see, pink just has no armies. Like, you gotta get out of here, bro. Like, you gotta get out. You should not be coming to me. Like, I don't know what to say, man. Like, he just won't do it. There, we'll drop. I mean, I have to take out his stuff. And I have to try to compile troops. We'll see what happens. Sorry, bud. I didn't want to. Like, I gave him 2 rounds to get his armies out. I really didn't want to attack him, but there was nothing else I could do. Now, I'm hoping I didn't piss him up. If he's a good ally, he'll understand that I had to take that in order to, like, get armies. And he could just sit here and I could try to protect him a little bit. That's the only reason I put troops over here, because he's now covering that front. So my goal is hoping that he won't attack me, he'll push the other way. Because we are allies. But he is in a fucked situation right now. And he's even more fucked if he attacks me. So I'm hoping that these troops can basically count as my own. Okay. Yeah, so he's basically operating as my defender over there. No. Shit. We're just gonna be quiet for now. So I don't want to attack black right now because black has more troops than I do, and I have way more armies coming in. He doesn't have many more troops, but this is a situation to where if I poked the bear and I attacked here, he could just drop like the tactical nuke on me, and I'd rather see him go that way for now. So we're not going to attack. We're not going to take a card. I should have put troops up here and then retreated back, but this will be okay for now. Like, he's basically saying don't attack. Like, we're safe. Like, I'm not going to attack you, so I don't have to attack here because he's not going to attack back. And I could just comfortably take a big troop lead here. Yep. I thought that was coming. Now I have to put troops up over here. This is why we paused. So green's down here just turtling like crazy. I gotta put troops up here next time. Yep, he backed way off. Okay. Go like that for now. So we're a little precarious up here in the upper right. He's still got 4 cards, so he could still drop a 10 stack over here. So we're just going to be very careful over here. I think green's done for. Well, no, the green doesn't have any cards. There's no point. So he's just going to turtle and say, don't attack me. It's not worth it. That's what he's going to do. So green has no troops, but he also has no cards. So it's not worth taking his stuff. Like, he could have absolutely nuked him there, but there's no value in it. He's not going to get armies back in return. And so green is basically going to sit here and say, okay, I'm just going to sit here and be annoying. Interesting. Okay, I have quite a bit more than everybody. I'll go here. You want to ally? No. We're just really trying to lock down America. Because now that I have the most troops and I have the most armies coming in, I'm going to be the one to focus. And this guy's got a 41 stack. So as long as he can still come up through here if he wanted to. So he can break me here. But that's about it. We're gonna play it very, very carefully for now. I do have more cards coming in. But yeah, if I piss this guy off, yeah, yeah. He can't wipe me out, but I also don't want him to try to wipe me out, which is what he's gonna do. Yeah. That's okay. So that's why I saved the cards. Because I could just basically come in right behind here and just sweep everything up. At least I called that beforehand. I tried to make it not as exciting to do, but he did it anyways, which is smart. Yeah, now you just open yourself up over here. Come from behind, gotcha. You're not gonna bust me, are you? He bided his time, which was smart, but we're gonna go to the one stack. If he didn't put his troops here, I was gonna back cap everything up here. Like, he actually got a pretty big advantage by doing this. Because I was just going to bring all these guys through this way. And I couldn't do it because these troops were in the way. Now, if blue's smart, blue breaks here and here. Or they kill green. Like, if green doesn't attack black here, they're working together. Yeah, they're working together. I take third. This is so fucked, man. I am absolutely fucked. Game is cheese. Okay, what am I gonna do here? I have to break him because he's gonna keep focusing me. It doesn't matter. I'm taking third. But I have to stop him from getting so many armies. It's worse than using summons on Elden Ring level 2s. Yeah, I'm just dead here. He'll probably nuke himself on me. If I get a good and then he'll take my cards, and then he'll have 10 troops, and he's gonna take last. He's gonna take second. Yep. Yep. We tried to be safe. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it a night there. Like I said, I was pretty tired, but good patch notes. Hope you guys had some fun. They weren't bad at all. Maybe I'll stream some PTS this week. We'll see. We'll do Voices of Era tomorrow with Nice. And yeah, we'll see what the rest of the week brings us. I'll obviously still be streaming Elden Ring. I just wanted to take a quick break. Yeah, you guys have a good night. Take care. Have a good one.